mean, you could just be really lame and not wear a mask. Or you could just wear a cool mask.
Making skulls with your friends. That's me. And we're gonna have a really good time, yeah, learning skills with foam and fire. Gonna look so badass and not fail. So I made this mask pattern kind of spur of the moment before going to a music festival. I made it out of this flimsy EVA yellow foam, but later on I made it out of a thicker EVA foam. Oh yeah. It was just easier to chop this one up and see what worked before trying to do that on a stiffer, more harder foam to glue together. I'm not going to show you how I put this together because I didn't film any of it. However, I will quickly do a walkthrough of what pattern parts go together where, because I do have the pattern all saved online so you can easily print it out and put it together yourself. So before you do that, I will give you a quick verbal walkthrough of which parts get glued to where first and kind of the order of things. Here is the first pattern. We have the face. So obviously you need to cut this out ×2, and it's got little red circles and squares right there which connect up to this part, which is the jaw ×2. You need 2 of these. And so yeah, you just glue them there and there. Now I don't use hot glue for this because it'll just come apart way too easy. So use some sort of a super glue contact cement glue. That works quite well. Next part. Oh. So you want to glue this together first and then glue it to those 2 pieces and set those aside for now. Now the next piece is the part that runs along the top. So this one connects down to this little piece right there. But first we'll talk about the horns. I prefer to do the horns last because it just makes things a whole lot easier. So don't cut these holes out just yet. Just mark them out. So first glue these shut to make things a bit easier for later on. And the next part is that, which goes onto the other one, the back of the head. Now this part is a little bit confusing to say where it attaches, but we do it last, so all you need to do is cut it out, glue it all together, and then put it aside for the last thing. So that's the last thing, plus along the horns. The horns are last as well. So 4 horns is what you need, and we just cut them all out, glue them together, and then glue both horns together. It's kind of hard to explain. Alright, so this is the edge, right? This is an edge, and these are all edges. So you want to get 2 horns and face them opposite each side, and glue them right along the edge line, all the way around. I find it easy to start at one end and get to about here, and then start on this end and get to about there. Because the really tip part, you can't quite glue to its edge. It just gets a bit ridiculous. So you actually want to glue the 2 flat parts together. So when you get about up to here, as far as you can go, glue the edges. That's when I stop and then just glue the 2 flat sides together. And then use a knife to make it a bit more pointy. That's nothing on that page. Right, so let's go back to this one. Now this one's got a green bit from here to there. It also has a little green line from here to there. And all that means is that you do something slightly different here. So with this little pointy part for the nose, we actually glue this flat edge from about here to there to the opposite one of these jaw. So both of the jaw bits, you want to glue just the nose point flat together. So the flat edge, not this. The flat side, not the edge side. And once this and that one is glued together, that's when you want to start adding this piece. Except we don't start with the big side, we start with the tiny edge part. So we get this little tiny edge part here, and start gluing up the edge on both sides of this part. So here's where it starts. It starts here and you glue literally along the edge. So we're not gluing any flat side to a flat side, you're gluing both of the edge sides. So the very narrow edge sides you're going to glue from here all the way to there. And I believe this part here lines up perfectly with this part here, just so you've got a bit of a guide. After that you keep gluing all the way up to here, and that will reach from here all the way to this end. So that needs to match up as well. The only difference I do now is between here and there is instead of gluing edge to edge, I glue this edge to the flat part of here. That's a bit hard to say. So instead of gluing along the edge from about roughly here to there, I'm actually gluing it onto the flat part of the head, if that makes any sense. I just feel like it angles the brow a bit better, so it kind of gives the brow a more of a point to it. This is the best I can do to explain it because, hey, it's a free cheap pattern and I didn't film myself putting it together. Alright, with that, I think just about know how to put it together. Oh, right, the horns. Okay, so once everything is put together except for the back of the head and the horns, it doesn't really matter which one you do last too much, whether it's the horns or the back of the head, but yeah, with the horns you just cut these circles out, jam them in there, and put lots of hot glue around the edging on the inside and on the outside to really secure them on. That's the only time I use hot glue. And then as for the back of the head, this guy here, so you're actually going to glue from the edge, you have to do the edges again, so glue from here all the way around, and the way that glues onto this is you start about here, I think it goes from that little neck part, so you glue along here and then along all over here and then back to the other side of this one. Yeah, that's how the back goes on. It just gives it a bit more of a nice cupping feel to the back of your head. And then you're all done! Fantastic. Good luck. Good luck. Ta-da! Now, this is the finished product for the harder EVA foam mask version. And you can see that all the edges are a bit more curved and domed over. And the way I did that was actually by using, a blowtorch. Yes! So I went over all the edging and lightly blowtorched them so that they would give a nice domed effect. And the fun thing about this is you can also use a small craft knife and kind of lightly cut into the EVA foam, and then when you go over it with the blowtorch, all the edges kind of go in, so it makes a nice crease, which means you can get a lot of cool features like outlining of the teeth or cracks you might want to put all over the skull. After that, we painted them a few times and then added an elastic strap so you could wear it kind of propped up or lower down your head, covering your face. Then off to the music festival! Because they're not hard and a bit more pliable, we could even wear them in the mosh pit without worrying about breaking them or hurting someone too badly. So there you have it, a fun mask you can just wear around the house and do some fun tricks in. Maybe you try and put it on your dog or your cat, if they will allow it. Or you could just hang it on the wall and call it art. Brag to all your friends that you killed the dragon or something. We also covered ours in glow-in-the-dark paint, so when we're running around at the festival, people kind of spot us from a distance. And now that they're just sitting around the house, when we're walking around, it's like, ooh, what's that thing looking at me from the corner? Spooky! Good luck, amigos! May your masks turn out epic and your fingers stay mostly unglued. And hey, if you like building things like this, why not check out my Good to Know series on making a basic fursuit from start to finish. The 10-episode series can be found and purchased at www.SparkyBites.com. Just sign up and log in to purchase and watch the magic. Oh, and remember to check your spam folder when trying to activate your account. Bloody email! I'm not spam! I've had so many positive reviews about it and people showing me their own creations. The Good to Know series really is my pride and joy to bring to the furry and cosplaying community. If you're still on the fence about it, why not watch the first episode free? You can find the link to episode 1 in the description below. Adios!